Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do a video on wrapping a canvas. Sounds cool. It's different. It's been around for a while. I'm new to it, but I really like it. It gives a different look to watercolor, and you still don't have to frame it if you don't want to, and you wax it after you get through painting it. So it's something really exciting. This is the one that I just finished, little 4 by 12. A lot of fun, a little difficult because it was my first time doing it, but I really like how it turned out. I wet the paper first, then laid this down on the paper, and then wrapped the paper around it. And the corners are the tricky parts, but it's very doable. And once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. And I loved painting on this too. So I thought I would show you how I did it. So stay tuned, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the little button up there where the bell is so that you get notifications of my other videos. See ya. All right, and so these are the supplies you're going to need. I've got my paper, which is a Kilimanjaro 140-pound cold press. My canvas, which was previously used. I tried acrylic pouring, not quite my thing, but it was fun. So I'm just going to cover over this, and this is just a very narrow canvas. So I'm just going to place it on my paper. I've made some little marks here to speed up everything. You need a ruler so that you can measure, and I'm doing 1.5 inches all the way around this canvas. That way I can wrap this and know that I've got plenty of paper. You need staples, and you need a stapler. I'm just using a regular old office stapler. I've been using it for years. Regular staples, pencil, good old eraser in case I make a mistake, because I've been known to. And so then I just take and I measure, and the paper's dry. So I'm going to start out dry with this, and then I'll wet it. And I'm going to measure 1.5 inches all the way around. So that's 1.5. I've already set this up just to save a little bit of time. That's 1.5. 1.5 out here. 1.5 out here. All the way around, 1.5. And then I'll just take and mark all the way around here. Now make sure that I've got this as 1.5 and 1.5. And I'll mark on these two marks. And I've already measured that this is 1.5. The other thing that you'll definitely need is an X-Acto knife. You want to make sure that your blade is tight and in and sharp. And then I use a metal ruler with a cork back so that I can line this up on my line here. The ruler is not going to move for me, and I usually do 3 passes. I actually took a class from my husband many years ago who was teaching at a community college, and he was teaching teacher's aides on how to use bulletin boards effectively, and part of that was cutting paper on a cutting board and using X-Acto knives. And there is kind of a trick to using X-Acto knives, and that's keeping your fingers on the ruler away so that you don't end up cutting into your fingers, because that has been done. And never trying to make a cut going all the way through at the very first. You want to do same line and go 2 or 3 times, and you can actually hear when the paper's cut. So my paper's cut. Then I'll come down here to the bottom, line it up, cut across, and it's already through. So now my paper's ready. So the next step that I'll do, oh, and I save all of this and use it as color charts for when I do different paintings and different techniques and different things. So then I want to run this underwater, and I'm going to turn my faucet on here in my sink, in my studio, and just let it run a gentle flow. So I've got the faucet on. It's a gentle flow. It's not running really hard. And I'm just going to start wetting the paper, just letting it run back and forth on the paper. Now a lot of people will soak their paper. I don't, because when I paint on it, I don't want all of the sizing to come off the paper. See how it's curled? It's just done that on its own. I'm going to turn this over. And just let it continue to run. I'm just going to do this for a couple of minutes so that I can feel it. I can feel it start to give under gentle pressure. I just want it to be soft enough that when I put it on the canvas board that it bends easily. This sink could be a little bit bigger, but it works. I don't want to get any creases in it, so I'm being just really careful. And it feels pretty supple to me. So I'm just going to hold it from one end, let some of the excess water drip off of that. I've made sure that my cutting board, which is a soft mat that's specifically for cutting on so it self-heals, I've made sure that that's perfectly clean, so when I lay this down flat, it doesn't, the face of this does not get dirty. All right, now I'm ready to start wrapping this. You can see it's still very wet, shiny, it's very supple. I'm just going to take the canvas, place it within these lines I've drawn. And then I'm going to start at one end, and I'm going to start wrapping this. If you've ever done upholstery before, you know that you have to keep the paper even. And to do that, you pull it taut. After you've done one side, you pull it taut. And then it doesn't crease in the center. I'm going to show you how I do this. It's kind of hard to explain it, but I'm going to take this corner here. This is flat along this whole edge here. I'm going to take this corner and do this, and then I'm going to fold the bottom piece to the canvas. See if you can see that right. It's like you're wrapping a package, so you fold that in, but you've got this flap here, and you're going to fold that flap over. And then you're going to staple that part. So you're going to staple it. I'm not going to staple it because I want to show you this a couple of times. Okay, pull this back out. And you can't pull on this corner because it will tear. I've played with this a little bit, so it's a little bit soft here. But this is completely folded over. Let me back this out a little bit for you. Oops, wrong direction here. So this is just one side of this. I'm going to fold this part in so it looks like this. See that? That's flat down along the top of the canvas there. So pull that back out, fold this part in, then you have this flap here. This flap gets folded over this way, and now I'm going to staple it. And then this piece gets wrapped up and tight so that now you have just that corner. And I've messed this corner up a little bit, but that's why I want to show you this, because this part is very important. I'll show you that again. You've taken that flap and you've folded the flap down and stapled it. And then you bring this corner up and staple that. And that's what your corner looks like. That way you don't have any extra lumps or bumps or anything. So I'm going to spray this other section here real quick so that I can show you this over here. I stretched this a few minutes ago. Okay, so the paper is down flat, like this. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to push in this way and crease that edge there and crease this here like this. So now you've got it. Looks like that. And this paper is torn, by the way. That's why I wanted to practice on this one so that I could show you. But this is really important. So now we've got this flap. It comes back over this way, and you're going to pull that tight. And then staple it. Now, you've got this part here. You're going to bring that up and fold that over and then staple that portion. And there you have a nice flat edge. So I'm going to show you again on this corner. I'm going to wet this again. So I've got this up like this. Pretend that's all stapled. Let me staple that part down here real quick. Okay, that's like that. I'm going to push in just like I'm wrapping a package. Make it nice and tight along this edge here. Like that. Now you've got that flap. Fold that up and over this way. Staple that corner. And then pull this up tight and staple that. You don't want to work the paper too much. The fibers will start lifting. It's nice and flat here, nice and flat here. Anyway, I wanted to show you that really carefully because the corners are the most important part. And do each corner the same way. That way they look nice on the back as well. Although I would put something over the back of this so that it looks finished. Maybe a dust cover on it or some kind of a back, just so that it looks finished. Of course, if it's just for you and you don't care what the back looks like, then you could leave that back alone. But I will go back to my original one and show you how to do it again. So you center it on the paper, then you pull up one side tight, staple one side, that one didn't work really well, so let's do that one over again. Pull the other side tight. And then on both ends, crease it really good. Take the flaps, fold the flaps down. Grab that, pull it tight over. Over, hold it down, then staple it all the way across. Okay, try that again. Okay, flip it around, fold those corners in, crease them, crease these, fold them down. Make sure that you've grabbed that tight all the way around so that you don't leave any gaps in that. I have this paper centered exactly right. Staple that just to be a little safer there. For some reason my stapler wants to jam. Got to love little problems there. Make sure I didn't have another staple underneath that because I didn't remove the canvas. You can remove the canvas on these. I haven't done that yet. That staple's still not right, but I need to get these edges stapled. There, so we've got 2 flaps. So you've only got, you've got 4 corners, but you've only got 2 flaps so that it's easier to push down those centers, fold the flaps over, staple them. And that's what it looks like. So it's a lot easier if you're doing them all at once, so that you just fold over and staple the corners, or staple the edges, and then fold it down at the same time and then do the flaps and staple it that way, rather than trying to do one. In my practice that I was showing you, I didn't do it quite right, only because I just wanted to show you those corners over and over and over and over again. I will show you this close up here. So you've got, this is where you folded it over, and you've got that flap that comes down, so you've got the crease there, and then the crease on the opposite side. Well, you don't have the crease on 2 sides, so that it's just smooth on one side. That's the flap end. Smooth on the other, the flap end. So it's really easy. Just practice those corners. Okay, anyway, that's it. Hope you understood that. Hope it looked easier than what you thought it was going to be. And I'll show you this tomorrow when it's dry. Well, here it is. It's all finished. Looks just like a canvas. Corners are nice. They look wonderful. Back's all good. Looks nice and neat. Very easy, huh? Just got to remember those corners. Anyway, I just wanted to show you. It's all ready to paint now. Let's see. What should I paint? Probably a flower. I hope that this was informative for you and that you understood it all. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your support always. Give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.